So for a few days now, I've been playing around with the Xiaomi 14 Ultra, and as you can tell by my smile, this phone is extremely exciting. And I say that rarely because nowadays most phones are just basically the same thing, a little bit better here, a little bit better there, maybe a little bit even worse here. But this phone is super exciting because I love cameras. I believe this is the first phone that actually deserves the Ultra branding behind it, and I'll explain why. By the way, I did buy the phone from Trading Shenzhen. I'm gonna leave a link down below for if you guys want to check it out. Just make sure the phone does work with your carrier and the bands in your country. So from the get-go, this is not a phone. This is a camera with a phone built into it. I'm obviously joking, but at the same time, not really. The photos this phone takes are truly amazing in every sense of that word. Every camera on this phone, aside from the front-facing camera, is 50 megapixels. The main camera has a massive 1-inch sensor which gives you beautiful natural depth of field without needing to be close to the subject. But if you do want to be close to the subject, you can take macro photos using the 3.2 times lens or the 5 times telephoto lens. Now because the main sensor on this phone is so massive, sometimes the depth of field is actually too good. So Xiaomi solves this problem, if you want to call it that, by giving you two options: extended depth of field or shallow depth of field. Both give you a different result, with extended depth of field closing the aperture so you have a little less bokeh. This is obviously helpful if you want to, for example, take a picture of your food. You may have noticed sometimes when you do it with your phone, like the center of the food is like very nice and sharp, but then like the edges are a little bit out of focus. That's just because, well, the phone you took that picture with has a pretty large sensor. But since this is a massive 1-inch sensor, that only exaggerates that difference, so that's why Xiaomi gives you those two options. I like that. They kind of already knew that sometimes giving you a pretty massive sensor could have its drawbacks depending on the situation you're taking the photos in. So that being said, yeah, this phone has an adjustable aperture, which is just incredible. It gives you so much freedom when taking photos because you can control how much or how little light reaches the sensor, as well as obviously controlling the natural depth of field. There's basically no reason to even use portrait mode on this phone because almost everything you take a photo of has that natural depth of field, especially the 3.2 or the 5 times lens. It is just... it's so good. For example, the Xiaomi 14 Ultra's 3.2 times lens is f1.8, and the S24 Ultra's 3 times zoom lens is f2.4. Both of them obviously give you a nice depth of field, but the Xiaomi photo looks almost like it's portrait mode without actually being in portrait mode. Now, the Xiaomi 14 Ultra might just be the zoom champion compared to the S24 Ultra. Just take a look at the comparisons. This photo was shot at 30 times zoom, and the S24 Ultra is just over sharpening every little piece of detail, so much so that it's actually ruining some of the detail, like in the grass in the foreground or the trees in the background. In another example, at 100 times zoom, I mean, I don't even need to talk. You guys clearly see the Xiaomi 14 Ultra giving a much better result. You guys know what I think about the S24 Ultra. I love it. I always take it on my road trips or any trip that I'm taking because, well, let's be honest, whenever you go on a trip or a vacation, you tend to take a lot of photos and videos. This used to be the phone that I took with me, but I think I found my new one. Now, if you guys want me to make a dedicated camera comparison of the Xiaomi 14 Ultra compared to the S24 Ultra, definitely let me know. If a lot of people want to see it, I'll go ahead and make a video. Now, moving on to the design of the phone, I really love it. My model in particular has that faux leather on the back, making the phone very grippy to use without a case. I actually like this a lot. But if you do need a case, Xiaomi is awesome enough to include one in the box for you to use. Unlike some other brands that offer their cases in the box, those cases are usually more or less TPU style, so they're very kind of flimsy. But this one is actually a hard shell type of case, and again, included free in the box. But also in the box, Xiaomi provides a charger as well, a 90-watt charger in fact. 0 to 100%, 30 minutes. Now that is something that the S24 Ultra definitely cannot do, and in fact the only phone that can charge that quick here in the States is the, where is it? Is this it? Yep, is the OnePlus 12. So again, here in the States, we are severely lacking good phones. The display on the Xiaomi 14 Ultra is also very, very good. It's a 6.73-inch display. It goes up to 120 Hz and it goes up to an eye-watering 3000 nits of brightness. So you'll be able to see the display no matter the lighting condition that you're in. Now, looking at the glass of the Xiaomi 14 Ultra, we're all used to seeing Gorilla Glass everywhere, but this one is using Xiaomi's very own Shield Glass, which is supposed to be stronger, more durable than Gorilla Glass, but I'm not going to test that out. I'm just going to leave that to some other YouTube channel that loves to scratch things. Maybe they'll do a review of this phone. But it is also curved, but the actual display is not curved, the glass is. So, as you guys can tell, there's just an ever so slight curve, so every time you're using the back gesture of the phone, it feels very, very good. I really love this approach because I don't like curved displays because it kind of distorts what's around the edges of the phone, but this one is kind of like the best of two worlds. The glass is curved, but the display is not, so you get comfort and you get functionality. Again, just a major win. Now, as far as HDR goes, the Xiaomi 14 Ultra does support HDR10+ as well as Dolby Vision HDR, so watching movies and shows in HDR is going to be a fantastic experience, especially because of that high brightness panel. With the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, 12GB of RAM, and a 5000 or 5300 mAh battery depending on the version you get, performance is obviously going to be fantastic whether you're scrolling through social media or playing a little bit of Warzone. I never experienced any bugs, glitches, slowdowns, but you know, that's kind of to be expected. Nowadays, no matter which new phone you get, it's going to be performing amazing either way. Snapdragon has definitely evolved like tenfold over the last couple of years, so performance is not going to be an issue on any new phone. As far as battery life goes, well, I've only had the phone for a few days now, so it's still kind of adjusting to how I use the phone, but so far I'm getting around 6.5 to 6 hours, 45 minutes of screen on time. But remember, I am taking like a lot more pictures than I used to compared to other phones. I'm taking a lot more videos, and overall, anytime you get something new, you tend to use it a whole lot more throughout the day. So, I suspect this is going to be around a 7-hour phone, 7 hours, 30 minutes maybe. Especially once the phone gets used to how I use the phone, which usually takes about a week, I give it. So I'm definitely going to make an update video as the week goes on, so if you guys want, stay tuned. Out of the few days I've been using the phone, I really, really love it. It really does deserve the Ultra branding. You get crazy fast charging, you get insane cameras that can fool others into thinking you took them from an actual camera. You have amazing performance, a fantastic display, and you get everything you need already in the box. If you guys have any questions that you want me to answer in the comments or in my next video, definitely drop me a comment down below. If you guys are new here, consider subscribing. And if you did enjoy today's video, all I ask is for you guys to leave a like. It's absolutely free to you, but it helps me and the channel out a lot, and I always truly appreciate it. And as always, this was Mark from Mark's Tech. Adios.